Imagine waking up 10 years from now. You're in your late 30s. You have a solid career, a comfortable home, and a family depending on you. On paper, you've done everything right. Then, you open your banking app, and one thought just won't leave your mind. I make good money, so why does it still feel like I'm behind? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't struggle because they earn too little. They struggle because they build an expensive lifestyle before they build wealth. Some people earn $60,000 a year and quietly become millionaires. Others make 3 times that and spend decades living paycheck to paycheck. The difference isn't luck, it isn't intelligence, and it certainly isn't finding the perfect investment. It's the habits they build long before anyone notices. If you're in your 20s or 30s, every financial decision you make today carries more weight than you realize. Not because you already have a lot of money, but because you still have something far more valuable: time. Money can always be earned again. Time never can. In this video, I'll share 10 simple wealth-building rules that don't require a 6-figure salary, a lucky break, or a winning stock pick. Just practical habits that quietly separate people who achieve financial freedom from those who spend years wondering where all their money went. Let's get started. Rule 1. Stop trying to look successful. Here's something most people don't realize. The people who look wealthy often aren't. And the people who actually build wealth usually don't look impressive at all. Imagine 2 coworkers. Each receives a $5,000 bonus. One upgrades his car. Everyone notices. The other quietly invests most of it into low-cost index funds and adds the rest to an emergency fund. Nobody notices. One purchase creates attention. The other creates freedom. We naturally chase things that make us look successful. A nicer apartment, a luxury watch, the newest phone. But real wealth is almost invisible. You can't see someone's investment portfolio when they're standing in line at the grocery store. Before making any expensive purchase, ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying this because it improves my life, or because I want other people to notice? That answer will shape your financial future more than you think. Because wealth isn't built by looking rich. It's built by owning assets that keep growing while nobody is watching. Rule 2. Build cash flow before you build investments. One of the biggest money myths is that investing comes first. It doesn't. Positive cash flow comes first. Think of your finances like a bucket. If there's a hole in the bottom, pouring in more water won't solve the problem. That's exactly what happens when every paycheck disappears the moment it arrives. Before worrying about finding the perfect ETF or the next hot stock, ask yourself a much simpler question. At the end of each month, does money stay with you, or does it disappear? Building positive cash flow doesn't mean living an extreme minimalist lifestyle. It simply means spending less than you earn, even if it's only by a small amount. Because that monthly surplus isn't just extra money. It's proof that your financial system is working. Don't focus on becoming a better investor before becoming a better money manager. Cash flow is the engine. Investing is simply where the engine takes you. Rule 3. Your savings rate matters more than your salary. Most people celebrate getting a raise. Very few celebrate increasing their savings rate. But only one of those creates lasting wealth. Imagine 2 friends. Emma earns $70,000 a year. David earns $130,000. At first glance, David seems far ahead, but Emma consistently saves 25% of every paycheck. David spends nearly everything he earns, because every raise comes with a bigger lifestyle. 10 years later, Emma owns investments that continue growing whether she's working or not. David is still depending on his next paycheck. Income determines how much money flows into your life. Your savings rate determines how much stays long enough to compound. Every raise gives you 2 choices: upgrade your lifestyle or upgrade your future. The people who quietly build wealth aren't always the highest earners. They're the ones who consistently widen the gap between what they earn and what they spend. That's where financial freedom begins. Rule 4. Automate your wealth. Most people think building wealth is about having more discipline. It isn't. It's about making fewer decisions. Every month, you promise yourself you'll invest whatever is left after paying the bills. But then, life happens. A weekend trip, a birthday dinner, a surprise expense. By the time you think about investing, there's nothing left. That's why the most successful investors don't rely on motivation, they rely on systems. Set up an automatic transfer the day after every paycheck hits your account. Pay your future self first, not because you'll always feel disciplined, but because you won't. The less you have to think about saving and investing, the more likely you'll keep doing it for years. Good intentions fade, good systems don't. Build a financial system that works even on your busiest days. Because wealth isn't built by making the right decision once. It's built by making the right decision automatically. Rule 5. Lifestyle inflation is the silent wealth killer. Most people don't lose control of their finances overnight. It happens, one upgrade at a time. A raise leads to a nicer apartment, then a newer car, a few more subscriptions, more dinners out. None of those purchases feels expensive by itself. Together, they quietly consume every extra dollar you earn. That's why someone making $120,000 can feel just as financially stressed as they did earning half that. Their income grew, their spending simply kept pace. Here's a simple rule that can change your future. Every time your income goes up, increase your investments before increasing your lifestyle. If you get a raise, automatically invest half of it before you ever see the money. You'll still enjoy a higher standard of living, but you'll also be buying something far more valuable: freedom. Remember this: lifestyle upgrades make today more comfortable. Asset upgrades make every tomorrow easier. Rule 6. Buy assets before you buy upgrades. Every dollar you spend has two possible jobs. It can improve your lifestyle today, or it can increase your income tomorrow. Imagine you're about to spend $2,000. You could use it for a luxury vacation. The memories will be great, but when the trip is over, so is the money. Or you could invest that same $2,000 into productive assets. Nobody will congratulate you, nobody will even notice, but years later, those assets may still be earning money while you sleep. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy life. It simply means learning the right order. Too many people buy the rewards first and hope wealth catches up later. Instead, build the income-producing machine first. Then, let that machine pay for the lifestyle you want. Because the goal isn't to avoid spending. It's to stop trading tomorrow's freedom for today's excitement. Rule 7. Invest in skills that increase your income. Most people spend hours searching for investments that might earn them 10% a year. Few spend that same time improving the asset with the highest potential return, themselves. If you're in your 20s or 30s, your ability to earn more is still one of your greatest financial advantages. A better salary negotiation, stronger communication skills, learning AI tools that make you more productive, developing expertise that's difficult to replace. Those investments can increase your income for decades. Imagine spending $500 on a course that helps you land a promotion worth an extra $15,000 a year. That's a return most investments could never match. The market may go up or down, but the value you create can keep growing throughout your career. Your portfolio matters, but your earning power comes first. Because the greatest investment you'll ever own isn't a stock. It's your ability to create value. Rule 8. Ignore the noise, follow the plan. Every day, someone online claims they've found the next big investment. Buy this stock, sell that ETF. The market is about to crash, or it's about to soar. The problem isn't that there's too much information, it's that most of it is designed to grab your attention, not to build your wealth. Imagine planting a tree, then digging it up every week to see if the roots are growing. It sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly how many people invest. They constantly change strategies, chase headlines, and panic over short-term market swings. Meanwhile, the people who quietly build wealth keep doing the same boring things. They invest consistently, they stay patient, and they let time do the heavy lifting. You don't need a new strategy every month. You need one strategy you can stick with for the next 20 years. Because the market rewards patience far more often than prediction. Rule 9. Measure wealth by freedom, not possessions. Here's a question that's worth thinking about. If you lost your job tomorrow, how long could you keep living your current life without panicking? A month? 6 months? A year? Most people measure wealth by what they can buy, but real wealth is measured by the choices you can make. The freedom to leave a job you hate, the freedom to spend more time with your family, the freedom to take a risk, start a business, or simply slow down without worrying about next month's bills. Money can't guarantee happiness, but it can buy something just as valuable: time, flexibility, peace of mind. Before every major purchase, ask yourself one question. Does this give me more freedom or just more stuff? Because the goal isn't to impress people. It's to build a life where your decisions are driven by choice, not financial pressure. Rule 10. Start before you feel ready. Let's finish with the rule that matters most. You'll never feel completely ready. You'll think you need a higher salary, a better economy, more knowledge, or the perfect investment. But waiting has a cost, and that cost is time. Imagine two people. One starts investing at 25. The other waits until 35 because life finally feels stable. The second person might invest more each month, but they'll never get those 10 years of compounding back. That's the part most people underestimate. Wealth isn't built by making one brilliant decision. It's built by making small, ordinary decisions again and again for years. Your first investment won't make you rich, neither will your second. But each one makes the next decision a little easier. Small habits become routines. Routines become wealth. You don't need to start with thousands of dollars. You just need to start, because time rewards action, not intention. Think back to where we started. 10 years from now, you won't remember the phone you almost bought or the car you almost upgraded, but you'll remember the financial choices that gave you options instead of stress. The truth is, wealth is rarely built through dramatic moments. It's built quietly. One automatic investment, one unnecessary purchase you decided to skip, one new skill that increased your income, one paycheck that left a little more behind than the last. None of those decisions feels life-changing on its own, but together they create a future that looks completely different. One day, people may look at your life and say, "You got lucky." They won't see the years you stayed consistent, the habits you built, or the small decisions you kept making when nobody was watching. Because from the outside, consistency often looks like luck. So, if you're in your 20s or 30s, don't wait until you have more money. Start building better habits today. Your future wealth won't come from one perfect decision. It'll come from hundreds of small ones made consistently over time. Thanks for watching. At John Ma Wealth, we explore timeless ideas about money, investing, and building lasting wealth. If you found this video valuable, a like helps more people discover this video. And if you're serious about building lasting wealth, subscribe. Until next time, keep learning, keep investing, and keep building.